Good evening everybody, it's 12th of August. It's still hot, has been all week. I know it's not been as hot as what our friends down south have been getting, but it still takes us some getting used to. Been up to around about 29 today. It was 31 when I left here last night. So it's been a struggle keeping everything well watered, particularly with all our plants in the sales area. But saying that, because I've been lucky enough to be able to get the water onto the plants, because we've got Kielder Reservoir just up the road from us, the plants have come away an awful lot. Looking at the chrysanthemum sprays here, which are really coming on, a bit behind when we planted them, but they're looking to be a little bit ahead. In fact, one or two is showing a little bit of colour. This is our trial plot for this year. A bit uneven on some of the varieties that we've got this year, just circumstances, shortage of plants, but they are coming away, starting to take a lot of buds now. Some varieties looking a lot better than others. And then this is the main plot. These have really shot away this week. A little bit of colour on Carstone Ruby here, but despite trying to hold these back a little bit, they're really coming away now. Got an awful lot of catching up to do on disbudding. We've already been through once earlier on this week, and a lot more to do. I'm going to have to be careful as to how many buds we take, otherwise I'm in danger of having a really strong flush right at the beginning of September and running out of one or two for mid-September in Harrogate. So it is going to be a little bit of planning when we look at it next week. Some varieties aren't quite as far ahead. This is Cream Diane. And this one here is Blight and Stella. Because this was a little bit late for us in previous years, I've actually stopped it a bit earlier. And there's a lot of buds there ready for taking, so we should have a good flush on that mid-September. The medium decks and cactus are a little bit behind this year, and a little bit of variable. Plants are looking healthy enough, so there's not a problem there. Just some of them are shorter than I would like to see them at this stage. And this is all the smaller miniatures again, the small decks and the cactus following on. But these are almost double the size they were last week. Maybe not quite, but they're not far off it. They've dropped away. Now, after trialling last year, we decided to plant a few nets just specifically for cut flower. So there's 6 nets here, each with 240 plants in. They're all planted 8 inches by 16 inches. So you can see there, and I've planted virtually in a single row, gap at the middle there, or a double row. 8 inches within the row, and then 16 inches between the 2 rows and the nets. The nets get lifted as the plants grow. These actually didn't get planted until the 26th of June, and to be honest, there were the leftover mini plants and spare stock plants. So although they're short, they're not doing so badly for how late they were actually put in. Trying to get plenty of water on them down here to get the height up, and there's, you know, it does seem to be a drier patch of soil, this one. And then our final plot, which has got just over 2,000 dahlias on it, and I've got some chrysanthemums, Koreans and rubellums running up the edge of it this year. These are all the giant and large. I think I need the grass cutting again, because that does seem to be growing. I'll say the dahlias do as well, to be honest. It gained a little bit more uneven this year. but they are definitely getting there. And there we have the collarettes and water lilies. And again, you can see how some varieties haven't come away as well as others. And I put that down to that really hot spell a few weeks ago when we were really struggling to get round with water and get them well established. But so they're getting there now, and there's even a bit of colour coming on one or two. This is Hadrian's Midnight, and then the last row there is all the bedders. And then the border at the back there, we haven't planted any more dahlias in that compared from last year. We've just let whatever was coming through come through, just left them to their own. Haven't even got them all tied up yet, but that actually hasn't been irrigated at all, that border. It's had a bit of rainfall but not much. And then as it was last year, totally tangerine, this lovely little anemone scented one, the first to flower. Look at the buds on those. There we go. I think it's about 7,300 or something we've got planted this year. I lose count. Take care, happy gardening, and yeah, hope all your plants grow well.